Welcome to this installment of the Tour of Consciousness from LAX. Lovely Los Angeles International Airport. Gary Douglas and I just finished a phenomenal class called When Sex is No Longer Fun and Relationship is Fleeting, What Choice Do You Have? And I cannot tell you how phenomenal it was to get to some of the things that we got to in this particular class, and the level of vulnerability that the people in this class had to be able to explore a totally different way of looking at the area of sex and relationship. See, what most people have in their point of view is that a lot of them actually have these agendas. Have you ever been with somebody and they have a different point of view about what you should be doing and how the relationship should look than you do? That's an agenda that they have. And it's one of the biggest things that kills us in relationship. And what that creates is us rejecting anything that doesn't match our agenda. The difficulty is most of those agendas, we don't even know what they are. And so there's these two aspects that get set up that create it virtually, let's just say it becomes very difficult to actually create a successful relationship. So what's the process? Well, I got one for you. It's going to be a little bit intense for some of you, but if you've been, on the Tour of Consciousness for any length of time, then you're sort of used to it. If you haven't, this is one of the gifts of Access Consciousness, is we have this processing, this way of changing things that gets underneath and goes beyond your cognitive mind to the energetics of the limitation that gets created and that is sticking you. So here's the process. Now you can use this process on anything. In this case, if we're talking relationship and or sex, you can use it on sex and relationship. But here it is. So what judgments, lies, inventions, and agendas am I using to create the evil, mediocrity, the dominance, sorry. Let me start over. What judgments, lies, inventions, and agendas am I using to create the domination of evil, mediocrity, and corruption with regard to sex and relationship am I choosing? Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. One more time. What judgments, lies, inventions, and agendas are you using to create the domination of evil, mediocrity, and corruption in sex and relationship are you choosing? Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, this particular process is a doozy. Now, where I said sex and relationship, you could put anything in the blank. You could put my relationship. You could put somebody you're in a relationship with. You could put money. You could put receiving. You could put joy. You could put creation. Anything you're working on. Now, why? Because, you've heard me talk about judgment a lot in the past, I hope, and if you haven't, watch some of the YouTube videos or go to a class. Because judgment is one of the biggest killers there is. If you read the Being You Changing the World book, you know this from there. There are all these ways in which I've tried to talk about it so people can realize that a judgment, good or bad, right or wrong, is always a limitation. And the funny part is, a lot of times it's our good judgments that stick us even more than the bad judgments, because when we judge something as bad, at least we're willing to look at it so we can change it. When we judge it as good, we won't even let it change. So judgments, lies, you can understand how a lie would create a lot of problems. Inventions are where you invent points of view and invent ideas about reality that aren't actually true. You just come up with them in your head and then you function from them. And then agendas are those things we talked about where you're trying to achieve something, but you don't even realize it. Most of them are secret and most of them are hidden. So what judgments, lies, inventions, and agendas are using to create the domination of evil, mediocrity, and corruption. Well, let me define evil. From my point of view, the only evil on the planet is unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, or trying to make someone less or hold them down and not empower them. And so that's the evil. Mediocrity is what most people are striving to be. I mean, if you look at our world right now with the preponderance of reality TV, everybody's trying to be as mediocre as they can. Standing out from the crowd is something most people are trying not to do. And the only way they want to stand out from the crowd is having more money than everybody else. But that's still by making the crowd the source for what you create. What could you choose and what could you create if you no longer had to be mediocre in your life in any way? So, and then the next one is the corruption. What is corruption? Well, it's where you take something that's wonderful and great and you screw it up. Like corrupting your very being to try to not be as much as you are, to make yourself as mediocre as you are. And the other thing for you guys is, you don't want people to see you as evil, so you won't do something that is different than the norm, because you know then nobody will see me as evil. This is a huge process, huge conversation. I need to go board my plane, but I wanted to give you this so that you could start to have a different way of functioning in the world. It's huge. So from lovely Los Angeles, this has been the Tour of Consciousness. Thank you so much for being part of it. What if you, truly being you, are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? You are, and I am so grateful you're on this planet. If you like this video, please like it. If you really like it, please subscribe so other people can find it. Bye, y'all.